Why do men suicide more than women? Here are 10 possible factors drawn from the conclusion of a 2-part Men Are Good series on male suicide. Link to the full series below. Men are good. I hope you're starting to get an idea of why men might commit suicide more often than women. Let's summarize the factors we've discussed in parts 1 and 2. 1. Cultural indifference to male suicide from both the general population and from professionals. 2. Joiner's ideas that men are more fearless. 3. A man's emotional pain is taboo. 4. Big boys don't cry and knowing there's no support. 5. Disallowing dependency in men. 6. Precarious manhood. He's got to face a lifelong judgment about his manhood. 7. Men's healing through action or inaction, which moves them away from possible human intervention. 8. Testosterone and its push to strive for status while limiting fear. 9. Men and hierarchy, putting your best face forward. And 10. The devaluation of men and boys. This leaves men in a very difficult spot. Man's emotional pain is taboo in our culture. No one wants to hear men's emotional pain, and no one wants to be around it or even be a part of it. So when you're suicidal, do you have emotional pain? Yes. And is anyone willing to deal with men's? No. People are basically allergic to men's emotional pain, and they act on this every day. On one side, men have a wall of indifference towards this emotional pain. People just don't care. He's been taught that his pain is something he should keep to himself and that there will be no help available to him. No one cares about his pain. So the first force we see is that men's emotions are actively ignored, and he responds by dealing with it on his own, often privately through action or inaction. Then we have the next huge factor, which is that people see men not publicly displaying their emotion, and rather than understand his obvious need to be private in his healing, they now claim that he's not dealing with his feelings. He's cold and unfeeling. He can't handle his emotions, or a host of other crazy assumptions, which now shame him for his private ways of healing. This is a lethal double standard. He's closed in by a wall of taboo on one side, and then another wall on the other that claims he's intentionally hiding his pain and making a choice of not being open about his emotions. Crazy, right? These two walls are undesirable, but somewhat understandable due to gynocentrism and the historical cultural importance of men providing and protecting for women and children. Each of these tendencies could be traced back to gynocentrism. This is the recipe that has been successfully used to build our culture. Men have kept things safe through their willingness to risk, to be independent, and strive for status. Men are starting to become aware of this automatic sacrifice and are starting to choose instead to go their own way. This is a very important cultural shift. But then along comes feminism, and these two walls got an extra force from above. Now men were not only pushed away due to a taboo, shamed for their quiet ways. No, now they're blamed for the problems of the world. Men were oppressors. Men were pigs. Men have selfishly had all to themselves, and now it was women's turn. The underlying assumption is that men owed for their past indiscretions and don't deserve to have emotions. They certainly don't deserve compassion. I hope you can see from this video that we've been making some very poor assumptions about men and emotions. Our present psychological services are built based on what women need and want. They are far from what we can be helpful to men. And in the meantime, come help me at Patreon. I could use your support. And let's not forget, men are good, as are you. Comment, subscribe, share, all that stuff. We'll see you.